Hi, this is Rob Yates, and this is the video for Unit 3, Homework 1, Simplifying Exponential Expressions. Always remember to put your first, your first and last name at the top of the page, and what period you take math. Our first question is, what does x to the fifth mean? It's an exponential expression. It means x to the fifth power. And basically that means x times x times x times x times x 5 times. So you could write that in here. X times x times x times x times x. Or x to the fifth power. Number 2 says simplify each of the expressions below. Our first one, A, has g to the fifth over g to the ninth. I want to remind you that g to the fifth means g times g times g times g times g over g times g times g times g times g. So you have 9. And the reason I write them out is so you can see that g cancels out g here, and here, and here, and here, and here. And what we have left is 1, 2, 3, 4 g's. So it's 1, since there's no g's left on top, over g to the fourth power. Over here on B, we have h to the fourth times h to the seventh. Remember, you can add exponents to get their total. So what is 4 plus 7? The answer goes right up here. H to the what power? And on C and D, they are exponential expressions within parentheses. And for instance, this x to the squared to the fourth power, we can multiply those, unlike B, because basically what it's saying is x squared times x squared times x squared times x squared. And if you add those all up, they're the same as 2 times 4. 2, 4, 6, 8. And 2 times 4 is 8. So our answer would be yes. Remember, when you are multiplying your parenthetical exponential expressions, that you have to multiply every expression in there. So for D, for instance, it says 4y to the fifth, and the whole expression is squared. That means you take that 2 and you put it on the 4 and on the y to the fifth to get your answer. So 4 to the second power, y to the 10th. Number 3 says when a cell divides in half, it makes a copy of itself. In the example below, cells are multiplying and making duplicate copies, which may or may not be delicate. The results are recorded in the table. Fill in the missing values. Well, number of cells in the first multiplication is 2, which is 2 to the first. In the second multiplication, it's 2 times 2, which is 2 to the second. In the third, it's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 to the third. I think you can see the pattern. This is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, excuse my horrible writing, which is 2 to the fourth. I'll let you figure out number 5. The second part of 3 says, if the number of multiplications in the table above was 176, how would you write the number of cells using exponent form? So if 4 multiplications is 2 to the fourth, what is 176 multiplications? 2 to the what? I think you know that answer. I'll let you write it in. Let's go on to our next page. All right. Simplify each of the expressions below and start by expanding the exponents and then simplifying your results. That simply means that there's going to be a little bit of work involved here. Looking at number 1, 2x times y to the 4th power over 2x squared squared times 2x to the 4th y to the 2nd squared. Well, we've got to expand those expressions for sure because that's a lot of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put my 2x y to the 4th up here, though I'm not going to need to mess with that for a minute. I take my 2 here, and I multiply it times the first and the second expression, and I get 2 squared x to the 4th times, again, this 2 goes to every expression inside the parentheses. 2 squared x to the 4th, x to the 8th, and y to the 4th. Now, these are multiplied times one another, and we get 2 to the 4th, because I got 2 here and 2 here, x to the 12th, and y to the 4th. Over 2x y to the 4th. Well, I can see right here that y to the 4th cancels out y to the 4th. One of these twos comes out of here. So, my answer is going to be one over 2 to the 3rd x to the 11th which is the same as 1 over 8 times x to the 11th. Always remember to write out your numerical exponential expressions because then they are simplified. They're not until you have done so. The balance of these problems remain pretty much the same. There isn't too much in here to be aware of other than make sure to always multiply your parenthetical expressions by every expression inside them. So for instance on 3, I want to take my 3 and I multiply times m to the 3rd and also times the 2. And my 2 here goes to the m, the n, and the 2. Expand them all out and then reduce them all down. There are no other tricky things in there that you need to be aware of other than that. I think you got enough to finish it up. Remember, if you're having a hard time with any of this stuff, there are tutors in the library before and after school. Also, you can see your teacher. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.